Hey there, everyone. This is the Chuckinator, and today we got an update for Stalker 2. My PC's been having some issues throughout the day for some reason after a Windows update, so I got a little late on getting this posted, recorded, and just generally having everything work. So I apologize for that. I usually try to get these out pretty quickly after the patches, but sometimes I just have some issues. But anyways, we got patch 1.5 today, and it is a big patch. If you open up your game after you update, you'll have access to it like they've been doing, which is once again something I do really enjoy that they've been doing, making it so accessible to see the patch notes, or at least a basis for the patch notes. Now this one's really big because it adds a bunch of stuff to Stalker, but also it has released the Zone Kit, which is a modding platform similar to kind of like how Bethesda's is, but it looks like it might do even more and have more even easy accessibility for people to mod stuff. I don't mod, so I don't know exactly how all that works, but hopefully this will make it where, honestly, maybe we'll start seeing Stalker 2 become more like Anomaly or some of those mod packs where people just create a bunch of ways for randomized quests and stuff like that to pop up if the developers don't officially do that. But generally, there's just a bunch of availability for modification of the game through the actual programs and software that they apparently must have used to make the game. So hopefully we'll see a lot of cool mobs coming out. Along with this, it will have a downloader kind of like on Bethesda games on the main screen. It's not on there now. I don't know why. I don't know if you have to download something else to make it available, but that might be something coming soon as more mods become available. But anyways, let's get into what patch 1.5 has. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like to help the algorithm and subscribe to the channel for more updates on when they post patches for Stalker, Stalker Gamma guides as I come out with new ones coming out, as well as a couple other games I'm working on that seem really fun and enjoyable and have a lot of in-depth survival aspects that you may also like if you're into survival games, which I think a good group of people do enjoy that kind of hardcore survivalistic stuff, even if it's not zone related. But in relation to patch 1.5, we have some new guns, mutant loot, and biggest thing is probably the mod ability available. So, there and back again. And again, good old Lord of the Rings reference. Stalkers become welcome back to Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. Time flies and the zone evolves once again. Before you dive into new adventures, let's take a look at new things introduced in patch 1.5. This will be very true for me because I, like many of you may have, kind of played the game through one time, then start getting to your second playthrough, and you notice more of the stuff that's like kind of immersive and open and gives you more to do in the game world, not being there. And then you kind of were like, well, I'm gonna wait a little bit to let the game have some patches come out and more stuff come out. This is the patch for me that will get me to playing the game again. They added the Mosin, they had M1911, and they've added Mutant Loot. So those are three things that mostly the Mosin and the Mutant Loot are kind of big for me because I love using the Mosin, which is the next part of this. The Threeline Rifle. It's a Mosin. Or an M1 Grand. More so, it's a Mosin. It's a Mosin. It's a Mosin. So, there's that. The Threeline Rifle is a fast and relatively lightweight bolt-action sniper rifle with a respectable effective range. This new gun is a recent hit in the zone, so you can meet three-line connoisseurs in the first days of your story. Threeline Rifle will be a great choice for experienced players who have practiced and mastered their aim. For most people who use the Mosin in most games, even including games like Tarkov, it is a good staple for a lot of people. They love the Mosin. It feels good. It feels very similar on most games, so I'm looking forward to trying it out when I get a hold of one inside Stalker 2. The other gun is the Kora, and this is the 1911. I mainly know this because in this video we'll be looking at in a second here, which is their showcase video. It shows a modding screen with this in there. It says the Kora 1911. So it's named 1911. Sometimes you want to feel the real power in your hands. There's a charm in clunky, slow weapons that carry a punch. Kora might not be as ergonomic and fast as its modern colleagues, but it delivers some serious damage, and you will feel the impact of each bullet shot from its limited magazine. Weapon collectors are already discussing how and where to get their hands on its unique variant, Night Stalker. So this is your general variant of it, but I'm assuming the better variant is this one. Like, this is going to be your Night Stalker variant, probably this one right here. Extended mag, has a laser, probably built-in silencer, and it has a unique design to it, as well as the handguard. I can't remember if that's what you'd call a handguard, but it's like the pistol grip. Pistol grip, that's what I'm thinking of. Anyways, after that, it talks about Mutant Loot and a little extra stuff. Patch 1.5 introduces a new feature of looting mutant parts. If the benefit of still being alive wasn't compelling enough, now those angry bloodsuckers and fleshers are going to pay for all the lives of poor stalkers, and most importantly, your ammo in eyes, tusks, and tentacles. Because we all know that a mutant would come around, you'd start spraying bullets into it, and you're just like, man, there goes all my ammo and nothing to gain from it. Now you will actually get parts that you can sell to traders. Grab them for traders, enjoy your well-earned coupons. But do not forget to learn the tricks of Malachite before you try to get them in a decent tradable condition. So apparently, if you go to Malachite, I guess they're going to teach you you can gain a skill or something like that to being able to get more out of it or get better parts out of it, something like that. I guess there's going to be like a new side quest type thing, possibly in relation to Malachite, to teach you how to do this. And it's crazy because when you play through the game, you realize that Malachite's kind of like literally your midpoint of the game, so that'll be interesting to see when that coming around. Big change is A-Life. A-Life NPCs are going to the bars tonight because now they are living their long, happy lives, which is something they actually had in patch notes, like a patch like in 1.4 or 1.3, but apparently that jargon was incorrect and was taken out. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but in one of the patch notes, it actually said they're living their long, happy lives in the zone. And they removed that phrasing out of it because I guess it was supposed to be for this patch. But anyways, they're going to be living their long, happy lives unless they meet their end of the zone as a result of their actions outside the player's view. We are expanding the living zone by making characters continue to live their lives and pursue their goals far from the player. Instead of deleting characters after the player moves far away, we continuously simulate each character's life until they die. The player will be able to encounter characters they haven't seen in a long time. New characters repopulate the zone far away from the player, so recently cleared layers won't have inhabitants immediately respawn. So, and by the way, just to clear this up, when they say new characters, that isn't just human NPCs. As far as I know, their characters is the word they use for any NPC, whether it be a mutant, human, or mutant. I don't know what third option could be there. But anyways, A-Life Director. Yeah, I read that part. The A-Life Director no longer generates fights at the edge of the player's visualization range, but instead spawns them much further away, making characters stream in more naturally. So instead of you them like spawning two sets of groups spawning near each other, near you, and fighting each other, just a scripted fighting event, they should more organically pop into your visualization range and interact with each other more organically. Or at least that's what this is saying it should work. I haven't actually gotten a chance to play. I'm going to be playing over tonight and through the next couple days, and I'll have another video on the channel once I get some time in. I'm not going to be like some of these other streamers or YouTubers in this Stalker area that, you know, they just kind of do a bunch of tests while they're sitting up in the air. I'm just going to actually play the game for a bit because that's the way I like to experience it, which I'm sure they do that as well. But I want to experience the zone. I want to see how close to Gamma or Anomaly in general is. I want to see how more immersive the zone is and how interactions feel more organic or not, as well as I want to shoot stuff with the Mosin. I just love shooting stuff with the Mosin in any game. So the next thing they added is more cars. Now when using cars as cover, you can meet some new faces. We've updated our zone car park with new models. Not as shiny as Ward mobiles, of course, but in their prime time, these cars were respectable vehicles. Now their rusted remains are mostly occupied by rodents. So there's going to be new car models around the zone, which will be interesting. Storm warning. New guns, new loot, and trading opportunities. The zone is getting nicer to stalkers. Don't celebrate too soon. Stalkers, she always has pocket aces. I phrased that in such a weird way, but sorry. If you thought water was a safe haven in the zone, think again. Now you can encounter anomalous water vortexes, so keep your eyes open when fishing. So there's these vortexes. Those will also be shown in the video I'll show you after this. That's also more action. Patch 1.5 introduces new quality of life features such as increased player stash window size, so you'll be able to see way more in the stash, which will be amazing. Hopefully it takes up the whole screen or something. A clear icon representing its type for each ammo type and reload renewal, which you can actually see right here. these little spots. That looks like it's armor piercing. That looks like it's probably hollow point, and that's just your generalized ammo. Quickly access stashed ammo. Enjoy Skip's new skill. Continuing reloads from where he left off. You'll see this in a video, but pretty much one of my... Oh, look, there it is. There's Mosin. It has a like little arm and arch sight on it. That's cool. You can put red dots on it. But back to what I was saying. So you'll see it in the video. Now, in the past, you could be at the end of a reload and not realize it. Go to heal yourself because you're super damaged, and then you have to restart your whole reload animation because your gun didn't actually finish reloading. It still had like maybe like a half second or a second left on it. Now it'll actually interrupt your reload, heal you, or use whatever item like grenades or etc. And then you will continue to reload close to where you left off. So it's not like you're doing the whole reload animation again. It's just finishing it, which is really cool. And they also added new sync for Ukrainian voiceover. You'll notice that we had a lip sync for Ukrainian for all cutscenes, get separate pre-renders. And like I said, the zone kit is there. These are all the highlights they have here, but we are going to go watch the video real quick of the showcase for this. There's a new pistol in 1911. Looks clean. Threeline Rifle, the Mosin, because they don't actually use the real names of most of the weapons. But we all know it's a Mosin. It's a Mosin. I'm looking forward to using that very much. Also collecting all this mutant loot and being able to delete my mods that did that anyways. See, let's go back. Let's go back real quick. I just saw something I didn't read the last time. It was right here. Hunting, trophy, trading. Hunting, trophy, trading. Get this back a little bit more. So I guess there's a trader that's going to be specifically wanting hunting stuff. Maybe it'll be the guy that is normally doing it. But I don't know. We'll see. Not sure what that means. This is the coolest, like one of my favorite parts, aside from all of the major changes. Like, look at that. That is so much better. That's such a good quality of life change. Do you throw an aid? And you just finish this rack and slide. It's fabulous. They changed some UI stuff, A-Light updates. And there's that tornado. That thing's super crazy. And then obviously we have the first phase of the zone kit, which is going to make some interesting modding. You see, there's the mod browser. This video jumped through everything so fast. Like, they don't want you to notice things. Okay, let's pause and scoot back. See? Right there. You're going to have a mod browser at some point, I guess, to download your mods. See? Now, this might already be on console. I'm not sure. Because I'm on PC. So most of your stuff, you just download. I guess you will be downloading directly from the Steam Workshop, as far as I understand. So maybe that's how I'm supposed to go look at mods. I haven't actually gone to look, you know, because I just actually mod stuff directly through not Nitro, whatever it is, whatever it is, wherever everyone gets their mods for them, wherever you choose to get your mods from, I get them from a third-party site. Nexus mods. That's what I'm thinking of. Sorry guys, I just haven't downloaded any mods in a minute, so forgot the name. But that is the main part of those patch notes. At this point in the video, I'm going to say once again, I want to thank you for watching. Like to help the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you want more updates on Stalker, videos or Stalker updates or anything related to Stalker 2, as well as some other games that I may be putting on the channel around survival games, stuff like that, because I'm going to go more towards a survival game focus on the channel, along with playing some goofy games, aside from Stalker and stuff like that. That's my shtick. I love survival games, or anything that has those mechanics. But anyways, for the rest of you, we're just going over the patch notes in more of a more detailed thing a little bit. I'm not going to go over the fixes and all that other extra stuff. If you want to go to those, I'll have a link below and in the description. You can go to the patch notes that would be on this link right here. But there is some things I did like from the actual patch notes that weren't directly mentioned in some of this stuff. But let's look at it. IE life changes. Life in the zone is now simulated for all characters, not just those in the player's view. Characters continue to live their lives, pursue their goals in the zone until they meet their end. The player can meet some stalkers again after some time. Players may encounter more A-life characters resting or interacting in various locations, adding to the world's immersion. I will say, I think it really sucks because as much as I enjoy the game, I hate doing the not tutorial, but like the prologue generally, or the opening of the game. I hate doing it over and over again because it takes so long. And honestly, you don't get access to a lot of stuff in the game until like a good bit through the game. You're getting about 15 to 20 hours in sometimes before you get into actually being more open about where you can go in the zone. Put it simply. Not exactly, but like your availability of actually being able to go places and survive and stuff and actually have a purpose takes a little longer. So, characters will no longer respawn directly from the player, and when the player clears the mutant's lair, for example, those mutants won't simply reappear moments later. I remember this very specifically with some of the bloodsucker lairs that they would spawn immediately after you kill them, and that was not okay. It was kind of messed up. It wasn't good. You would kill them and then they'd spawn in while you're like a couple seconds later before you can even finish looting anything or searching around the inside of the lair. A-Life Director will no longer respawn characters at the edge of visualization. Instead, respawn move further away from the player while maintaining the zone's population. So pretty much, instead of you having someone spawn and you actually just see them pop in, I don't know how much further they did it, but hopefully it's decently enough that we won't notice it as much. I understand that in the old Stalker games, they technically would pop out, but they'd be popping out to another level. This is a full, huge open world, and I can understand how, for optimization purposes and not to have the game run at like 3 FPS, they can't have every single person in the whole zone rendered at all times, so they have to figure out some way to offline them and keep them doing all the stuff they do, with them also having probably like a hugely high amount of people to keep track of inside of their background systems. I didn't develop the game, but it seems like it's probably a lot. It's a lot for the backend to hold on to. Even though it's not a server, but still, like, you know what I mean. Anyways, visualization range slightly increased. Characters now appear in visualization range with relevant animations and equipped weapons. This reduces the pop-in effect and contributes to a more seamless character visualization. That's what I was just saying. They are working to make it seem less pop-in-y, which is very important. Added new anomaly water electric tornado. Added Threeline Rifle weapon. Added new handgun Kora. This is named 1911. This is the Mosin. Add new feature, looting of mutant parts. As it shows here, you use a knife and you can loot parts off mutants, so you can sell them later and make it a little more worthwhile when you go to a trader. Added displaying of available artifact slots for armors and upgrade tab, so I guess you'll see artifact slots for armors now when you're upgrading them. The player's dash windows increased in size. I saw that. That was in the thing they showed. Fiction issue when the take all button becomes inactive after putting any item to the loot window. Sorry, my that's my issue I've been having today. My capture card's been messing up, so it's causing me to have really bad issues with recordings. So I'm sorry. I apologize. I gotta figure out what's going on with it. I don't know. I've tried so many things. I apologize again. Much love to y'all. Thank you. But let's get back to it. Added unlockable fix all button in the technician's upgrade menu to repair all equipped gear. And I don't know what it means by unlockable, but now there's going to be a fix all button instead of having to just go to each item and fix it. Add a reload and renewal feature for all of the weapons, which is that whole continuing your reload after you do an action. So this next little section is just talking about mods. I actually, after the last patch, did some A-Life changes. And a couple other changes. I removed all my mods that added items and heavily affected any of the A-Life stuff, just so I could see it more of how it's supposed to be in vanilla now, to see if it's up to what I would like it to be, even though the mods only did so much. But this is pretty much just stating that the zone is ever changing and a new patch can shift your structure. If you've chosen to walk the path with modifications, know this: they may not withstand the latest shifts. Like, if you have stability or performance issues, you probably need to disable your mods. And they say that, but the issue is, if your save is really far in and you have a lot of mod items or something like that, you're gonna have issues just uninstalling mods. So make sure to follow whatever processes each mod that may add even more features suggests to do before uninstalling your mod. Like, if you have project itemization or the Mutant Loot mod, like I did, you will have to sell all of your gear. So not all of your gear. You have to sell all of those items that came with the mod. Then wait 2 or 3 days for the trader's inventories to empty out. Like, just sleep for two or 3 days in game. So the traders will reset their inventories, and then you will have to uninstall your mod at that point and delete the localization files, depending on the mod. So from there, we got AI in combat. This is just a lot of simple fixes for combat to make it more realistic and not seem weird. Like, fix issue where Chimera jump attack deals damage before reaching player. Fix issue where Brick could be killed while its shield was active if you were close. Just a couple simple stuff. Now, the balancing things are kind of bigger stuff. Fix generic issue where that's not that big of a deal. Mission NPC could have overpowered items in inventory. I guess there were some mission direct NPCs that would have overpowered items. I'm not sure. I didn't really kill many of the main NPCs, and I just kind of followed the story, killed who I needed to, and played the game a little bit after that with mods and stuff. So here's the big part. They reworked ammo for machine guns and sniper rifles. Now, what I don't understand is they replaced 7.62 by 39mm ammo with 7.62 by 54mm ammo. I don't know if this means that this ammo no longer exists and has been replaced by this ammo. I don't think that's what it is. I think the wording is weird. I'm thinking 7.62 by 39 is just no longer in these weapons. They've added this ammo and made all of these specifically related to these ammos and changed the ammos that they use, as far as I understand. It'll affect the SVD, SVU, M701, PKP, Mark 1 AMR, and Threeline Rifle. Supersonic ammo now deals way less damage to weapon durability, making it more useful. Increased armor penetration for Grom S15 weapon. Increased armor penetration damage modifiers for AS Lavina weapon. Rework damage of Cavalier unique weapon. Artifacts effects rebalance. Horn decreased chemical and radio protection. Rosin replaced weight weak effect with endurance weak. Shell replaced radiation weak effect with endurance weak effect. Updated some stashes in the markers in the Rostock region. Updated some stash locations in the Yaniv region. Or Yaniv. Fixed an issue where price for a common artifact was higher than a repeatable quest reward for it. I noticed some of this. It would be where you could sell the artifact to a trader more than you'd get for the quest, which is kind of dumb. Kind of crappy. Especially seeing as quests, like, as far as I understand, they don't really affect much of like a, your faction stuff or anything. It doesn't affect any of that. Like, that doesn't really exist. You don't have faction relations in this game. Not like ones like the old games where you saw it on your pad and like had access to it. Nothing like that. Or how it is in Anomaly, more so. Or Gamma. So, implement a new artifact effect, durability. That will increase durability of equipped gear. Now, I don't know if this just makes your durability go down slower, or if it actually slowly increases the durability of these items or your gear and stuff, but we'll see. Rework to replace 7.62 ammo across the map. That just pretty much means that they just balanced all these two ammos to fix it. Or like I said, if they actually switched the ammos of these and made them not a thing, then I don't know. We'll see. I'll check it out. I'm gonna be posting another video over the weekend when I actually get some time to play this overnight and tomorrow and stuff. And then the rest is just a bunch of bug fixes and made side quests and open world encounters fixes to make the game run smoother and stuff. And they talk about mod support. It has a bunch of little clips of the mutant loot and stuff. Localize the vocal sync and stuff like that, or like it says right there. But they improved path for NPCs, improved NPC cigarette smoking animations, added possibility to speed up credit scrolling for PC and Xbox, which the credits did take a while, so yeah. Improved distant indoors gunshot sounds. I'm interested in hearing how this sounds. I'm looking forward to it. Because I do love shooting stuff inside Stalker. The guns feel good. Improve HUD appearance for changing ammo functionality. Enhance inventory sorting and scrolling on loot windows. Enhance weapon attachments descriptions. Adjusted sound volume for medkit usage. And added support 21:9 and 32:9 aspect ratio. Added an auto detect button for the graphics sets to adjust graphics presets according to our recommendations for players' hardware. Okay. So that's most of the patch notes. Like I said, I'm going to post this link in the bottom description if you want to look at those. This is all I'm going to go with on this. I wanted to mainly just update you on what was going on with it, talk about things that I'm really interested in. Mainly, I'm hyped to use the Mosin, see how A-Life has changed, and go collect some mutant loot and see what kind of loot you can get from mutants. So I'll be posting some shorts on the different type of loot you get and how it looks and stuff like that soon over the next couple days as I play a little bit, because I have another game that I've fully evolved my whole life in and can't stop playing. It's called Vintage Story, and there will be videos coming on the channel of it soon as I work through them and can get away from the game because I just can't stop playing it. But I thank all of y'all who stick with the channel, who followed, subscribed, and like all my videos or watch all my videos. I appreciate all of you. I thank you for your time. Once again, make sure to like to help the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel for updates on Stalker 2 or just other game guides and stuff like that. And I'll catch y'all next time. Good luck in the zone, Stalkers.